So, good evening, and welcome along to another big music show here on NVTV. Coming up on the show this week, we'll be joined by Phil McCarroll and Maya Goldblum. And starting things off all the way from Texas, here are McKay and Leigh.
I can't remember if I said a prayer or a curse, but the ground was coming at me like some mean old lady's purse. I knew however much it hurt, getting up would hurt me worse, but it would make me wiser if it did not kill me first. Flying and falling and flying again. If you're a whooping crane or a jet airplane or just a leaf blown by the wind, from the time you're brought into this world till the day you reach the end, it's all flying and falling and flying again. Now the passers-by who gathered round said it didn't look too good, that the fall would probably kill me. I was wishing that it would. They all pitched in and carried me straight to intensive care, but all that I could think about was getting back up in the air. Flying and falling and flying again. If you're a whooping crane or a jet airplane or just a leaf blown by the wind, from the time you're brought into this world till the day you reach the end, it's all flying and falling and flying again. Now to chart the safest course through life is no kind of life at all. You gotta take the chance even though you might be terrified to fall, to see this planet's curvature and be sure the world is round. Just gliding for a moment is worth colliding with the ground. Flying and falling and flying again. If you're a whooping crane or a jet airplane or just a leaf blown by the wind, from the time you're brought into this world till the day you reach the end, it's all flying and falling and flying again. Flying and falling and flying.
So that's a track called Flying and Falling from Leigh and McKay, and the guys join us now in the studio. Noel and Brennan, welcome. Noel, tell us about the song, the backstory to that.
Well, this song is one that I wrote with my good friend and mentor, Guy Clark, who was a famous and very revered songwriter in the States. And it was about an incident that took place when he was working on his mailbox and ended up in the emergency room. He got sick. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2006 and passed away 2 years ago in May. I realized after Guy passed away that the song was really kind of about just sort of a fight to live, his will to live and his passion for living, which was significant. So it's a song I'm very proud to have co-written with him.
Excellent. Okay, now Brennan, you've played Ireland before, but this is your first time in Belfast, isn't it?
We've never been here before. Very excited to be in Belfast.
What do you think of the Irish audiences here?
Oh, they're warm. They're witty. Irish audiences are intelligent, and there's a love for poetry here, which we appreciate very much as songwriters.
Now, we were talking about Titanic earlier on before we came on air there, and Noel, you were saying you found some ancestors who are actually on the Titanic, didn't you?
I did. I found a distant relative. A couple of years ago, we went up to Strathnaver in the north of Scotland, where the McKays immigrated to the United States from, and I found a gravestone from a young man named John McKay, who was my relative, and he died on the Titanic. He was 20 years old.
All right, okay. So Brendan, are you guys promoting an album at the minute?
We've got several albums to promote that are coming up. Noel's got an album he's got in the can, almost finished. We're with a to-be-announced release date. Same here. I've got a record that is being produced by Robbie Fulks in Chicago. That's also to-be-announced release date. And we have a record together that's coming out on Vauxhall Records in Nashville, and that's coming out this fall.
So how did the two of you begin collaborating together?
Noel and I have been playing music together about 10 years. We met way back when I first moved to Texas around 2002 and sort of knew each other through the music scene. And then about 10 years ago, we started writing songs together and shortly after touring together and performing.
So growing up, who would have been your big music influences?
Well, the first record that I bought was a Willie Nelson record. It was Red-Headed Stranger, and there was a grocery store that sold records, and that's where you could find me while my parents were shopping. Who else? Harry Nilsson, who's not a country singer, but he was a big influence on me, and lots of songwriters. So.
And Brendan, what about you? Do you remember the first time you discovered music and hearing something and going, wow, that's amazing?
My family was musical, so my parents were always sitting around picking, singing. They had a lot of records. They had Buddy Holly records, Emmylou Harris records, Everly Brothers records. I think the first record I bought was Elvis, some Elvis Golden Hits thing, and then I also had, and they thought this was funny over when we were touring England, Herman's Hermits.
Wow.
but I really came to country music when I was maybe 13 or 14, and I never went back. I love country music.
Great. So once you finish in Ireland, what's next for you?
Back to the States to work on the release of these records that Brennan was talking about.
Yeah.
And doing the shows that we have booked there.
Okay, so if people want to get more information on when they can get their hands on that record, how do they do that?
They can go to noelandbrennan.com, or they can go to brennanlee.net or noelmckay.com.
Brilliant. Okay, before you go, will you do one more song for us?
Happy to.
What are you going to do this time?
We're going to do a song I wrote called The John Deere H. It's a song about my father's first time driving a tractor. And I heard enough stories from him about his growing up on the farm in North Dakota to get sort of a fascination for it. And this story in particular always reached me. And it's about he's a young kid and his first time being allowed to drive the tractor solo. And it was a small, low horsepower John Deere H model tractor.
All right, let's hear it then. Here is John Deere H.
That old engine crank again in all its glory. It's a faded memory that I go back to now and then. I'd give my right arm to be on that farm with the John Deere H again. The John Deere H was a row crop tractor, ours was a 43. And I was still too young to drive, but I knew she was made for me. It'd be like heaven to start her up until that stubborn ground. But I'd climb up on the metal seat and make up my own tractor sounds. The H was made in a factory down in Waterloo, but my for some folks that we do. She wasn't sleek and she wasn't fast, took a while to get her going, but she beat a horse in a handheld plow for cutting hay and hoeing. And then to my surprise, he said one night, boy, it's time you got to learn it. And he showed me how to check the spark and set that flywheel turning. I was only 8 years old, I had to stand to reach the pedals, but I was so proud you'd have thought that I just won some kind of medal. She cut alfalfa with a sickle mower, the sweet smell filled the sky, and in dreams at night we'd still be working, the John Deere H and I. Well, that old machine was a farm kid's dream, none like her before or after, but we let her go in hopes of knowing so-called greener pastures. Though I've been around the world, my life's the envy of most men, I'd give my right hand for that piece of land and the John Deere H again. I give my right arm to be on that farm with the John Deere H again.
When you found me on the rooftop like a god, watching over you. Sitting on the rooftop, sipping wine, waiting for the sun to arrive. Surrender to the unknown, no science will cure our will to kill ourselves or the earth below our feet. Close your eyes and surrender to all you can't see. I'm no angel, but I can't help watching over you. Cheers to everyone and cheers to no one. All we've got is this moment. Care about everyone, don't care what no one thinks, like a god. You ask how can you sit above it all? Oh, watching as the world crumbles. Oh, I'm just sitting here on my sun.
So that's a song called Like a God from Maya Goldblum, who joins me now in the studio. Hi, Maya.
Hi.
Tell us about that song. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, I normally don't plan a topic for my songs. Like, they always just come out of me and I can't control what they're about, just depending on the time. But like this one, my friend and I decided to do a song challenge. So she picked the topic, Like a God. And I was like, what does that even mean? I have no idea how I'm supposed to make a song about that. But it turns out I had a lot of like poetry from the summer before about a family member who was going through a hard time, and I really wanted to like help them out, but had to realize that like they're the only ones that can change themselves. So it's kind of around that theme.
Okay, so we can tell by your accent you're not from Northern Ireland.
Nope.
You're from Idaho.
Yeah.
How did you end up here?
I went to McGee. I just graduated my music degree there. And yeah, still living in Derry, so.
So how long have you been doing the whole singer-songwriter thing for then?
It's pretty new, to be honest. Since I was 18-ish, I really decided I was going to do it when I was 19. Until then, it was very just, this is a hobby, and I grew up with music, so it was always just in my life. But when I was 19, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna practice every day. I'm gonna write all the time. And my dad's a trumpet player, singer, flute player. My mom's a pianist, sings. But I wasn't ever one of those like really intense, like you have to do music, you have to do it all the time. It wasn't serious at all, but it just was, I don't know, brought in such a natural way. They didn't ever force me to do anything, and they never encouraged me to do music as a career.
Right.
But then like when they found out that that was what I wanted to pursue, they were supportive.
So now it is the full-time job for you. What's it like working out there in the industry?
Mysterious and crazy, and always a challenge. It's good to know that I can always learn something new, and it's humbling to just like, I don't know, take a step back and let people help you, because I couldn't do any of the things I've done without so many friends and just like people in my life.
So you've been out gigging around the place. Where's good to play?
My first and favorite place that I played is Bennigan's. I was there last night in Derry. Played at the Crescent Arts Centre in Belfast. That's really lovely. Cool So Far gig at like a barber shop, Blind Willie's or something.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
And, like, there's a lot of cool places. I need to get out more. I want to gig more in like Dublin and Cork and anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just stuck around the area since I've been in school, and now that I'm graduated, I just am ready to go anywhere.
You've got the album coming out soon as well, haven't you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, my debut concept album, and it's called Light Shadow Boom Boom. I got a tattoo that says Light Shadow Boom Boom before I moved here. I didn't know I was going to make an album called Light Shadow Boom Boom, but it kind of just ended up being the right name for it, so It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's just kind of about the dualities of life and how you need to like accept the lightness and the darkness inside you, and also just embrace like being present. And for me, that means like, you know, connection in music, and how music is my therapy. And it's just like kind of exploring themes of depression and all sorts of things. So hopefully the release of the album will be in October.
Okay.
So.
And if people want to find out more information about you, is there a website they can check out?
Well, all the social media, Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I don't have a website yet, working on it. Yeah.
All right, will you do one more song before you go?
Sure.
What are you going to do this time?
A new one called As Long As You're Scared To.
What's the story behind that?
I was in the car with my boyfriend, and it's like, we haven't been together that long. But we've had to talk about a lot of crazy kind of serious topics, more intense than a relationship should have at like the age of 22, because my visa's gonna run up. I don't know if I can stay in the country. All sorts of things, like talking about marriage and like all sorts of things that you shouldn't talk about at this age. I don't want to get married. Anyways, so yeah, it was basically just thinking about how we're both freaking out, like pretty much, and
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's hear the song one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Maya Goldblum.
My heart is sinking with the sun. Anytime I catch nothing is easy. I say anything worth your while and not complicated. I'm scared, but I'm okay. Don't give up on me. I'm worth your while. Don't ever let me go. Lately I've been thinking how easy it could all go. My heart is sinking with the sun. Anytime I catch uncertainty, maybe I'm just insecure. Or maybe I just need to be told. Reassure me, oh, whisper in my ear. I'm scared, but I'm okay. reassure me. Oh, whisper in my ear. I'm scared, but I'm okay with being scared, just as long as you're scared too.
Yeah, we took a walk down a sandy lane, left around our left blood pumping through our veins, with the smell of all stuff fields. Summer for all these years, you've been my lover and my friend. Well, to walk a couple of sunshine miles with a western girl with a killer smile, oh, the desert's mine. And we watch the planes flying overhead, and we wonder where we might decide to be instead. 'Cause you're gonna watch what you take for granted, life to find out to understand it. Just a few days after Sandy Lane, my girl went to a wedding and never came home again. Yeah, I took a walk down a sandy lane, try and see if I could find that place again. How you wore that dress and always made me lose it. It's a memory now, but I still use it every day. Now I'm sick of sorrow and I'm done with grieving. Almost a year has gone, I can't believe. With tranquility meets the motorway, well, I'll always check my rearview mirror anyway. 'Cause you're gonna watch what you take for granted, life to find out to understand it. Just a few days after Sandy Lane, my girl went to a wedding, never came home again. Now, and I'll meet you down on the lane. Whoa. 'Cause you gotta watch what you take for granted, life to find out to understand it. Just a few days after Sandy Lane, my girl went to a wedding, never came home again. No, Lord, no, my girl went to a wedding, never came home again. Ma, 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 yeah.
There we go with a song called A Sandy Lane. That was Phil McCarroll, who joins me now in the studio. How are you, sir?
That's Philip McCarroll. That's Philip McCarroll. Use my full title, Robin.
I was used to calling you Phil from Paola. That's what you were in my phone for years.
yeah.
Phil from Paola.
That was my old surname, from Paola. I got it changed by Daypole back to Phil McCarroll. Philip McCarroll, excuse me.
So Philip
But
McCarroll.
I'm great, I'm very warm, hence I'm wearing shorts and stuff. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
we've shot this in the middle of a heat wave.
You know, if I appear to be sweaty and flustered, blame the sun.
All right, tell us the story behind Sandy Lane then.
It's a unique road where I used to live out in Lambeg near Lisburn. If you start on the top of Sandy Lane, you're out in the countryside, completely surrounded by fields. It's almost like a little dirt track. It's right beside the motorway, you see. You know the motorway that runs near Lisburn? Yeah. And the further you walk down it, the noisier the motorway gets, the more sort of chaotic things sound. And by the end of Sandy Lane, it is running parallel to the motorway. You're just hearing insanely loud trucks and stuff, and you can't help but look behind you, because you think you're about to get hit. Yes, and it's just a bizarre walk, and it kind of seemed to me like a metaphor for a relationship or something like that, starting off peaceful and ending in complete chaos, which is kind of what the song's about in a way as well. But it's the first song on my debut solo EP, Sunday Night Fever.
Okay. Great stuff. Okay, so the first time we met, you were in the band Payola. A lot of people probably remember Payola because you had a lot of success back in the day.
Oh, well, relatively speaking, yeah.
You did. That must have been 20 years ago.
We had it's not 20 years ago, man. It's not. It's good gracious. We probably started almost 20 years ago. Actually, you're probably right. But I'd say our best years were sometime after that.
Yes,
we kind of went through peaks and troughs. And ended in a trough, as most bands do, like political careers. They all end in failure. But, Payola's not necessarily a completely, done thing. We're just on ice at the minute. We're kind of resting.
All right, okay.
Like dormant.
Yes, yeah. Do you remember the first time we actually met at a photo shoot?
Yeah, we discussed this slightly earlier, and I can't believe that you first met me with my trousers around my ankles.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it was you and the whole band, trousers around your ankles, all sitting on a toilet.
Not the same one.
Not the same toilet, but in a separate toilet cubicle in a noodle bar, like 2 minutes up the road from here.
It was one of those situations when you're shooting for, it was your magazine at the time, and you think, well, what can we do here? You had to think on your feet. And, there's a row of toilet cubicles, four in a row, 4 guys in the band. Can we do this? We'll all sit and do it. One was eating a bowl of noodles. Yeah. I was reading a how to sing book. Just various poses on the loo. And we enjoyed that photo session so much that we ended up using it for a CD cover.
Yeah, well, it became one of those iconic Big Buzz magazine moments of all time, I think, didn't it? Nearly as legendary as the Big Buzz Irish Entertainment Awards, which of course you guys played.
We did a couple of those at least, and we were your guests at a few of them. I mean, I had wonderful conversations with the likes of Leo Sayer and Dana, and it's just almost like a bizarre psychedelic dream I felt it was in some of the time.
It's coming back to me now. That night, actually, there was the piano upstairs in the Europa Hotel, and up in the piano lounge, and there was Leo Sayer, Myleene Klass playing the piano together, Don Baker on harmonica, and then all you guys around the piano as well.
Hey, great days, man.
So Payola as well went on to support some big names too. I mean, you were on tour with Status Quo, weren't you?
Yeah, we did tour with Quo, and that was a massive thing to me because I grew up as a crazy Quo fan when I was a kid. I mean, they were my band, and I would get the mickey taken out of me for liking Quo so much, and I was so loyal, and they were just the number one band to me. So we did a couple of tours with them, and to be able to do that was just completely pinch yourself territory for me. Unbelievable. But it's just funny how life can throw these things back at you. Your favourite ever band. All those years later, playing on the road with them.
So do you like performing solo now, or do you miss having the guys on stage with you?
Both. I love performing solo, and part of the reason for that is there's so much freedom. When you're in a band for so many years, and you do tend to almost be like self-manage. I was, doing a lot of the work, I suppose, a lot of the booking of the gigs and making sure things were happening. And it becomes a bit frustrating because, it's like being married to 3 other guys and trying to everybody's got families and commitments and stuff like that. And it gets more and more difficult as time goes on. I think a lot of bands will just have to own up to that. I just thought, at this stage, the band's on ice. What am I going to do? I need to play gigs, need to get out there. I've just got this sort of bug, itchy toes, and it's about time I did something by myself. And it's a different discipline, it's a different kind of enjoyment, a different kind of fun, but it's really rewarding, It's rewarding because it's tough, it's not easy to get up by yourself when you're used to having people around you. Your mistakes are a bit more hidden. This is, naked.
And of course now you're supporting other local bands as well. You've got your radio show thing going at the minute, playing all the local bands, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely. Sounds of NI radio show. It goes out on a few FM stations around Northern Ireland. Sounds of NI has been a long-term thing of mine. I've been a promoter and organised gigs for many years, which was just a natural lead-on from doing all the Payola business. So why don't I just run them for other bands too? And the radio show naturally came on from that. I've always fancied a bit of broadcasting, and it just seems so ideal. I get to listen to so much local material because they're all sending me stuff looking for gigs.
Yeah.
And Sunflower Fest was heavily involved with as well, so they're looking for slots there. So it's just, well, I'm already hearing the music. It's so much of it is fantastic. Why don't I have an hourly show a week and just promote some of the music that's going on here? There's other people that do it and do it fantastically well, but I think there's a lot of ones that I would champion that maybe don't get a chance elsewhere.
So you've got the Hilden Festival coming up soon.
Do indeed. The Hilden Beer and Music Festival, you may have heard of it. It's the last bank holiday weekend in August. It's been a yearly thing for many, many years. It's a brilliant little sort of like a courtyard at an actual brewery, and I'll be playing in one of the tents, I think. It might be one of those days I get a couple of the Paola boys up with me, actually. There's a few solo gigs that I would do that I get a couple of the Paola lads. Maybe my brother would jump up for the odd gig. I don't like being by myself, all the time. I like to have some company occasionally, and that might be one of them. So yeah, check out the Hilden Beer Festival, sort of search it online.
All right. Will you do one more before you go?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm going to do a song called Love and Money. I always introduce this as a song about the things in life I'm rubbish at. Which isn't that fair. I'm definitely rubbish at money.
Right.
I've done okay, occasionally at love. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy this one. By the way, there's a lot of profanity in the original of this one.
Right.
I'm going to cut that out for you. I'm going to keep it clean. And by the way, you can search my songs and stuff. You just search SoundCloud and Philip McCarroll. You'll get a load of tracks you can download for free, like the EP. The track early you can download for free. So just get on Google and do your worst.
So Philip McCarroll, thank you for joining us.
Robin Elliott, thanks for having me. Cheers, mate.
I was riding, I was ruthless, I was bulletproof, I could not fail. Then I spent so long in the doghouse that I started to grow a tail. Had it good, I did not know it. I'm a man who never learned his lessons. Now I'm drinking like it's getting scarce, and my dreams are total Armageddon. Oh, no surprise, never paid the price. I thought about it twice. I never started running and never rode my luck. You could almost say I never came unstuck. For love or money, only. I was frank and I was fearless when the fuel and the fire was in me. When misery loved my company and poverty kept me skinny. I'm dwelling on the dawn of time. I was sure that I would end up someone. Guess that life just happened to me. I never even saw it coming. Oh, no surprise, never paid the price. I thought about it twice. No, I never started running, never rode my luck. You can almost say I never came unstuck. For love or money, only. Surprise, never paid the price. I thought about it twice. No, I never started running, never rode my luck. You could almost say I never came unstuck.